I've been told not to slurp my coffee, so I'm making a conscious effort not to do that. Welcome back to the video blog. My name is Adam Daniel Mezei, adamdanielmezei.com, PMD for hire.com, more importantly. I'm watching a lot of films, a lot of independent films lately, and I get a chance to cover a lot of trailers. I'm sifting through a lot of trailers. I got to thinking today, after watching a trailer called The Death of the Dead, which is a ninja zombie movie. I know, it might have schlocky elements to it, but I saw how Gary King, the director, and Christina Rose, the lead actress, were interacting in this particular film. And I got to thinking about famous Hollywood combinations from back in the day, actors that work marvelously with certain directors in a totally synchronous sort of a way. So I'm going to do this totally rough. I didn't make any notes because I thought I could try to challenge myself, coming off the top of my head, and sorry for that alarm in the background, off the top of my head with some famous batteries, pitcher-catcher combinations. So, first and foremost is the one that I think of all the time, which is Harvey Keitel and Martin Scorsese, in which, if you look back at the two seminal films where they started, which is Who's That Knocking at My Door in 1967, which was Martin Scorsese's first feature that he made after graduating from film school, and then the second film they did together, which was of course like an indie legend, an indie anthem, Mean Streets, and Harvey Keitel, and then subsequently Robert De Niro became Martin Scorsese's muse, but at least it was Harvey Keitel at the beginning. Then we have, moving on to more modern times, I think about David Cronenberg and lately Viggo Mortensen. And in the past two films, History of Violence and Eastern Promises, Viggo acted in Cronenberg's movies, and they have a really good rapport. They really understand each other. They do the research together, and Viggo totally goes into character. Then you have Russell Crowe and Ridley Scott. That's obvious. Gladiator. And then there was the film that they shot in France called A Good Year. And they have a really good relationship. And it's not hierarchical in the least. It's very flat and very collaborative. And Russell Crowe is very apt on giving, suggestions to Ridley Scott all the time for his various films. Lately, Leonardo DiCaprio, Martin Scorsese, Uma Thurman, Quentin Tarantino. So many other examples that I have to think about right off the top of my head. Who else? Michael Haneke and Juliette Binoche. I'm thinking of international. Jason Statham and Guy Ritchie. And now it's Martin Downey Jr. and Guy Ritchie. So those are the examples of batteries. Actors and directors that together form a franchise. A lifelong franchise where you as the viewer end up going into the cinema or popping in a DVD on your laptop or on your DVD player and expecting a certain quality of a film. Some people actually don't go for this. Some people don't like that predictability. That's the great thing about indie film, because you're getting told a really good story by a director who is using actors that you don't necessarily recognize. I've heard it argued both ways. I've heard non-cinematic aficionados, people who are intermittent or occasional film watchers, who end up watching films that don't have name actors in them because they're not looking for the canned performances. They don't want that. Oh, of course, there's, I was just thinking of another famous combination. It's Pedro Almodovar and Penelope Cruz. They worked really well together, including Antonio Banderas and Pedro Almodovar. I was thinking of a foreign combination. Werner Herzog and Klaus Kinski. Oh yes. Hatred visceral hatred for each other, but couldn't do anything but work with each other. Whether it was Fitzcarraldo or in my favorite F.W. Murnau remake, which was Nosferatu, shot by Werner Herzog in the Netherlands in a city called Leiden, if I'm not mistaken. Or was it Nijmegen? But those, I got sidetracked. And then I've heard it from the other side. So I talked about the people that are intermittent film watchers that don't like watching name actors in their films because they don't want canned performances. A. B. The B side is people who are actually going for those recognizable performances because they really have a relationship with the actor, and that's really what drives the audience and the revenue to the movie, because they're looking for that Tom Cruise performance. They're looking for that Philip Seymour Hoffman performance. I don't know, I'm looking for actors. I always look for actors that have range. I really don't understand people who like actors, specific characters, but then I don't understand people who like, you know, certain Hong Kong punch-up movies. I never really understood that either. Anything that's not Come Drink With Me, done by King Hu with Cheng Pei Pei, is just not a Hong Kong kick-ass movie. But I'm digressing. So, what are some of the actor-director combinations that you know about that I haven't listed, famous ones, and I'm sure there are dozens that I haven't even come up with? And who are some of the new indie combinations? Gregory Bain, J. Reuben Appelman, you know, person of interest. There's a new combination. Or are we going to see Boris Kievsky and Konstantin Levush? That's, I mean, it's just, it goes on and on and on. Anyway, so that's the video blog for today. That was on my mind. My name is Adam Daniel Mezei. This is the production office. This is the production office where I'm pointing. And as always, I wish for you many, many good things. And we'll bust a rhyme later. I know you love that line.